It only looks like Miami. South Beach Super Bowl, not exactly. This is Indianapolis, and welcome to this ESPN Sports Center Insider Special. I'm the lone outsider. I'm Steve Levy, but you're fortunate. We've got the insiders right here. John Clayton.
And we're going to announce our postseason awards, and more. We'll even see if we have any for you, but some will surprise you.
And with all the sleet and snow that's pouring down behind us, we're going to move on inside. It is beautiful here in India. The people have come out. They want the insiders. They're coming up on this Sports Center special. City of Indy already rocking as we welcome you inside. This could very well be my actual living room at home, but honestly, we are in Indianapolis. We are with the insiders. And if you want to get involved with the program, we are 60 minutes strong, just like the game will be on Sunday. Hashtag on Twitter, hashtag NFL Insiders on Twitter. Well, fellas, we know all about it's the Giants, the Patriots, the rematch, Eli against Brady, Belichick against Coughlin. So we know all that. We're at least you guys are insiders. Tell the people something we don't know.
Well, let's stay on the wide receiver thing, because I think one of the under-radar stories is Mario Manningham. Because think about what happened. Steve Smith, he ends up going to Philadelphia, and all of a sudden Mario's a free agent after this game. And so now, as he's the third best receiver on the team as far as catches, does he get the contract? Do they bring Steve Smith back? You know that Hakeem Nicks has a contract. You also know that Victor Cruz had a hot year. And so Mario Manningham may be playing his last game. That's under the radar. On the other side, you got the Patriots with Wes Welker. His contract's up, but I think they'll take care of him.
So Bill Belichick, fellas, has gone out of his way, and I mean out of his way, to maintain that Super Bowl 42 has absolutely nothing to do with Super Bowl 46. That's his point. What do you think is a bit different more this time around?
I don't see much of a difference from the past two games, because you go to the regular season game, you go to the Super Bowl, it's basically fourth quarter football, and you got two of the best fourth quarter guys in the league. And so what you now have is a chance that's going to hit low scoring for the first three quarters, pick it up in the fourth quarter, and then whoever gets the ball last, Eli's done it twice, maybe Tom gets it last this time.
If Eli gets protected, I don't see it being low scoring in the first
But that's a
quarters.
big if. Well, I want to see the offensive line of the Giants, because you notice Eli got pulverized in that chance, and Vince Wilfork has been unstoppable.
Yeah, but the
49ers
had numbers. I mean, they had 7 guys going after him. But you're right, Wilfork's been.
Yeah, and so that offensive line's had more holding calls in what's been a non-holding playoff series. I think that's going to be the struggle, because how the Giant line's going to be could be the distance in the game.
Interesting when you do compare the two Super Bowls they played in. There are 15 Giants that played in Super Bowl 42 that are on New York's roster for this one. Only 7 Patriots are back for a shot of some super revenge here for ESPN. So, guys, Bill Belichick, when you think about him and where he ranks all time, does he have anything more to prove? Has he already established his place in history? Let's just say he loses on Sunday. Will that matter in how we remember Bill Belichick?
I think it will, because let's put it this way. He's established he's probably the best coach of this era. But if you're talking about a loss on Sunday, that's about a 7-8 year gap without a Super Bowl win. And so it's like unfinished business. And you know he has a chance to maybe come back next year, but the pressure's going to be on Bill to win this game, even though this might not be his best team in a Super Bowl.
Belichick, to me, is an interesting contrast. We all know he loves and respects the history of the game, yet we also know he's not into statistics, always points out the only stat that is important is winning. How much does Bill care about where he's thought of in the history of the game? Is this an important thing? Obviously, winning the game Sunday is important, but his place among the greats in history, how important is that to him?
But also, when you look at the fact that now the clock is ticking, will time that Tom Brady's the quarterback? I don't think he will. I think, he and Tom go out the same time. Wow. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Well, because I just think that, he realizes you can't stay at a place a long period of time. I mean, we've seen it happen so many times. He's stayed here a long period of time with success. If he doesn't get the ultimate success, I don't think he's going to go through a rebuilding period without Tom.
But a lot of people have talked about how Tom Coughlin, it'd be great to spend some time on Coughlin, the other coach, by the way, here at the Super Bowl, that Coughlin has mellowed over the years. Do we believe Belichick has changed just a little bit? He brought the house down yesterday. Everyone was talking about, he was asked about the hospitality here in Indianapolis so far, and he said, well, ever since that they've been more hospitable to him here. So he's showing a little sense of humor that you don't always see out of Bill. Has he mellowed?
And I think also when you realize that more people are starting to say, okay, the Giants might have the better chance to win, Bill's going to take this into account, because it's taken 4 years just to get back to this point, and he probably has now come with one of his weaker defense. He's always been a great defensive coach. So you put all that together now, and you think this is probably going to be one of his better coaching efforts this week.
Yeah, I don't think the pressure's there as much on the Patriots this week. I mean, it's a game. You want to win. I mean, he's out to win the game like he would any other game. But as I stated at the start, I don't care what the Las Vegas says.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think that there's a consensus that the Giants are the better team going into this game. even with Tom Brady on his side.
Here in Indianapolis, Indiana, the fans have come out on a spectacular day weather-wise for late January. And they have questions, and we have the men to answer them. They are, of course, the NFL Insiders. We told you at the top of the show, if you on Twitter, hashtag NFL Insiders, you get a chance to ask a question. Again, we'll be back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. Similar format, be able to ask questions, so get them in. All right, it's from Mike, whose Twitter handle is Oilers fan. Wow, an Edmonton Oilers fan. Hard to believe. John,
Hockey fan right here.
We'll start with, I'm sure it's Edmonton Oilers. Should there be concern in Pittsburgh with the firing the offensive coordinator and Ben Roethlisberger meeting with the Rooneys?
Yeah, there should be concern, because if Ben's not happy, he could turn off that next coach. They've got to make sure they make this because, you know, he trusted Bruce Arians. He liked Bruce Arians. He stepped up and made sure Bruce didn't get fired last year. And now that Bruce is gone, he could turn off that next coach if it doesn't turn out to be somebody he doesn't respect.
Fair enough. Let's go outside. The people have shown up today, and they have spoken, and they've got a question for the Insiders as well.
Hey guys, I'm Carl from Greenwood, Indiana, and my question for you is, will Tim Tebow be the Week 1 starter for the Denver Broncos next season?
Oh, so
Carl,
Tim Tebow
that's it. You guys have a good time. I'm leaving.
Thanks for stopping by, Mike.
Here's the thing. He's going to be the starter going into training camp. And what that means, it's his job to lose. Now, the offseason, which he didn't have last year, is all trying to teach him how to work from the pocket, working on his release. It's not about, you know, expanding the spread option and all those type of things. He's got to learn how to play from the pocket, throw with anticipation, read, go through his progressions, be accurate, all those things. His job to lose. I think he'll start the season as a starter, but they will have a veteran quarterback added to the roster, and they will draft one.
So, Adam, now what do you think is going to be the acquisition they make? It doesn't look like they'll use a first-round pick. Does that mean they go for Vince Young, Chad Henne? And that's not going to be somebody that can beat out Tim Tebow the first week.
It's going to take the right guy, because you have to understand what you're stepping into with the popularity of Tim Tebow, number one. You have to find a guy that has a skill set that is comparable in some way to Tim Tebow, so that the Broncos can run an offense that's a little bit similar, so that if they have to go to the backup, that they're not totally ill-equipped to do that. It's going to be tough to find the right guy. Maybe I'll throw out a name. I'm just throwing out David Garrard.
Okay. Well, there's only one guy who could kill Tebow mania.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Peyton Manning. But he's not going there.
Okay.
Need help back. Let's fix it.
I agree with both those guys, only I would add a running back to that mix. Ryan Grant, I believe, will be gone, but don't forget that Mike McCarthy had a tremendous fascination with Marshawn Lynch when he came out of the draft, and then wanted to trade for him when he was traded from Buffalo to Seattle, and he wants a street tough running back, and I think that's big too, and it's big for Aaron Rodgers.
And of course, the team that ticked off the Packers at Lambeau Field actually took out the first and second seeds in the NFC, the New York Football Giants. They are here in Indianapolis. They'll take on the New England Patriots on Sunday, and the crowd, hey, there's a young Packer fan.
Hey.
He thinks they're just fine. We'll be right back.
Sports Center Special at the Super Bowl is presented by Little Caesars, home of the large, hot and ready pizza.